Let's get real for a second. Most men are completely clueless about what actually attracts women. And I'm not talking about being rich, having muscles, or driving a fancy car, because newsflash, those things alone won't make a woman genuinely interested. The harsh truth? Women are quietly observing your behavior, your mindset, and even the smallest details in how you carry yourself. And that's what really draws them in. Here's the controversial part. Society has lied to you. From movies to social media, we've been fed the idea that women chase money, status, or looks. But the reality is far more subtle and far more powerful. You could have all the money in the world and still struggle to hold a woman's attention if you lack the deeper qualities that naturally make men magnetic. In this video, I'm going to break down the things that women actually notice, crave, and respect in men. Some of these will make you uncomfortable because they challenge what you thought you knew about attraction. Others will seem so simple that you'll kick yourself for never noticing them before. Whether you're single, dating, or even in a relationship, understanding these principles can change everything. I'm not giving you tricks or manipulative tactics. I'm teaching real practical behaviors and mindsets that naturally make women drawn to you. If you're ready to stop guessing and start attracting, pay close attention, because most men will never understand this, and that's exactly why they fail. By the end of this video, you'll see things in a completely different way, and you'll finally know what it takes to genuinely attract women. Not just get their attention, but their respect and interest too. 1. Stop being too available. Here's a hard truth most men refuse to admit. Being available all the time makes you invisible. Yes, you heard that right. If you're always ready to answer her calls, drop everything for her, or constantly entertain her, you're actually lowering your value in her eyes. Scarcity creates attraction. Women naturally respect men who have their own priorities, goals, and life outside of her. Think about it. When someone is always there, it stops feeling special when they show up. It becomes expected, and nothing kills attraction faster than predictability. Women are drawn to men who are busy, ambitious, or simply unavailable at times because it signals confidence, independence, and that life isn't revolving around her. Being less available doesn't mean playing games or being dishonest. It means valuing your own time, having boundaries, and showing that you're a man with purpose. Women aren't attracted to men who bend over backward for them. They're attracted to men who stand firm, live fully, and occasionally leave her wondering what you're up to. Here's how it works in real life. 1. If she asks you to hang out on a Friday night and you already have plans with friends, don't cancel. Say something like, "I'm actually tied up tonight, but let's catch up tomorrow." You're showing that your life has meaning and you're not just waiting around for her. This small act instantly makes her see you as someone with value. Another side effect, being less available often increases her interest and effort. She starts wondering what you're doing, who you're spending time with, and why she can't have you whenever she wants. That curiosity is powerful. It creates tension, excitement, and genuine attraction. Remember, attraction isn't about chasing, it's about being chased. When you stop being overly available, you're not being cold, you're being confident. You're showing her that you're a man who prioritizes himself first, and that's incredibly magnetic. In short, if you want women to respect and desire you, stop being everywhere at once. Focus on your goals, have a life outside her, and let her come to you. Scarcity is the secret weapon most men ignore, and once you master it, you'll notice a shift in how women treat you. 2. Confidence beats looks every time. Here's a fact that most men hate to hear. Women notice energy before appearance. You could be average looking, even a bit rough around the edges. But if you walk into a room with confidence, women will take notice. On the other hand, a handsome man who lacks self-assurance can go completely unnoticed. Confidence is magnetic. It tells a woman that you value yourself, that you can handle life, and that you're someone worth investing her attention in. Confidence isn't about arrogance or acting like you're better than everyone. It's about owning who you are, accepting your flaws, and moving through the world with purpose. Women can sense insecurity immediately. Hesitation, over-apologizing, or constantly seeking approval signals weakness, and nothing kills attraction faster than a man who doesn't believe in himself. Another thing, confident men aren't desperate. They don't need validation from every woman they meet. That self-assured energy makes you stand out because women are subconsciously drawn to men who are secure, stable, and in control of themselves. Confidence is often the invisible factor that separates men who attract effortlessly from those who struggle despite good looks. Here's how it works in real life. 1. When you meet a woman and she makes small talk, maintain eye contact, smile naturally, and speak with calm authority. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like what I do?" say, "I really enjoy what I do. It keeps me busy and motivated." You're showing her that your life is fulfilling on its own. That subtle shift communicates confidence far more than a shirtless selfie ever could. Confidence also allows you to take risks and lead. Women notice a man who can make decisions without overthinking, who can plan a night out or navigate a situation without hesitation. That decisiveness signals that you're capable, competent, and emotionally stable, all highly attractive qualities. Remember, women aren't just attracted to looks, they're attracted to the energy behind the man. Confidence gives you a presence that commands attention. It makes her curious, intrigued, and even a little challenged, which naturally builds attraction. In short, being confident isn't optional if you want to attract women. Work on how you carry yourself, own your life, and stop relying on looks alone. Once you do, you'll see the difference immediately. Women will notice, and they'll respond to your energy far more than your appearance. Third, don't be a nice guy. Let's clear something up right now. Being a nice guy doesn't automatically make you attractive. In fact, it's often the exact opposite. Women aren't drawn to men who say yes to everything, bend over backward to please, or avoid conflict at all costs. There's a difference between kindness and being a pushover, and most men confuse the two. Here's the truth. Women are attracted to men who have boundaries, stand for themselves, and don't compromise their values just to be liked. When you're constantly nice without asserting your own needs, you send the message that your happiness depends on hers. That dependency kills attraction. Women want a partner, not a doormat. Being a nice guy is often rooted in insecurity. You might fear rejection, or you think that being overly agreeable will make her like you more. But the reality is, chasing approval rarely works. Women notice when a man lacks self-respect or lets them walk all over him, and it doesn't spark desire, it sparks frustration. On the other hand, men who are respectful yet firm naturally draw attention. They know when to say no, when to disagree, and when to stand their ground. That balance of kindness and strength is magnetic. Women feel safe around men who are stable, confident, and principled, but they also feel the thrill of challenge and unpredictability, the exact thing nice guys rarely offer. Another key point, being too nice often makes men forget about themselves. They sacrifice their hobbies, friends, and goals just to make someone else happy. That's not attractive. It's desperate. Women are drawn to men who have a life of their own, who enjoy their passions, and who don't center their entire existence around a relationship. Respecting yourself and your time is far more appealing than constant appeasement. If you want women to genuinely desire and respect you, you need to ditch the nice guy act. It's not about being mean, rude, or selfish. It's about being authentic, strong, and self-assured. A man who stands for himself, even when it's uncomfortable, commands more attraction than someone who smiles and agrees with everything just to avoid conflict. In short, stop thinking that being nice will automatically get you what you want. Women are drawn to men who are kind, yes, but kind with backbone, purpose, and self-respect. Once you embrace that, you'll notice a dramatic shift in how women see and respond to you. 4. Have a life women can't control men. It's time for some tough love. Too many of you are living your life on autopilot, letting women dictate your schedule, decisions, and even your mood. You think being accommodating makes you attractive, but in reality, it makes you predictable, boring, and easy to manipulate. Wake up. Women aren't drawn to men who allow themselves to be controlled. They're drawn to men who lead their own lives, make their own choices, and aren't afraid to set boundaries. Here's the harsh truth. A man who lets a woman control every aspect of his life isn't masculine. He's insecure. She may enjoy the power at first, but respect and attraction fade fast. Women are wired to notice independence. When you have your own hobbies, goals, and social circle, you become unpredictable, exciting, and most importantly, valuable. Being too available, too agreeable, or too dependent signals weakness, and no one wants a partner who lacks direction. Many men fail to see this because they're too focused on pleasing. They cancel plans with friends, abandon passions, or ignore personal goals just to accommodate a woman's wants. And guess what? That behavior doesn't make her love you more. It often makes her take you for granted. Attraction grows when you respect yourself first. Having a life she can't control isn't about ignoring her, it's about balance. It's about showing her that your happiness and purpose are not up for debate. It's about having ambitions that excite you, friendships that matter, and a schedule that reflects your priorities. When a woman sees that you're living fully, she becomes curious, intrigued, and naturally drawn to you. Wake up, men. Being passive or dependent is not attractive. Women want partners who own their lives, make decisions confidently, and don't let anyone, no matter how beautiful, dictate their path. Stop shrinking to fit someone else's expectations. Start expanding your world. When you do, you'll notice the difference immediately. Women respect and desire men who lead, not men who follow. In short, stop being the man who can be molded, managed, or controlled. Build a life that's yours and let women admire and chase you for it. Independence is magnetic, and it's the one thing most men completely ignore. And that's why they struggle to attract the women they really want. Fifth, challenge. Don't compliment excessively. Here's a reality check for most men. Giving constant compliments doesn't make women like you more. In fact, overdoing it often has the opposite effect. When you constantly tell a woman how beautiful she is, how amazing she looks, or how perfect she is, you're actually making yourself predictable and boring. Women crave tension, curiosity, and a little challenge. They're drawn to men who aren't afraid to disagree, tease, or keep a bit of mystery. Many men confuse kindness with validation. They think showering her with praise equals attraction. But the truth is, attraction isn't built on flattery. It's built on confidence, character, and presence. Women are naturally drawn to men who have their own opinions, make their own choices, and aren't desperate for approval. A man who challenges her in a respectful way signals strength, independence, and mental sharpness, qualities that far outshine 100 "you look beautiful" comments. Challenging her doesn't mean being rude or disrespectful. It means engaging with her in a way that makes her think, laugh, or even push back. It's about creating interaction that's dynamic, not one-sided. This kind of energy keeps women intrigued and makes them want more. Constant compliments, on the other hand, create predictability. Predictable is boring. Challenge creates excitement. Most men fail here because they're afraid of rejection or conflict. They think if they challenge a woman, she'll get upset or leave. The opposite is true. When done correctly, playful challenges and confident disagreements make a woman see you as a man with substance, someone who isn't easily swayed or manipulated. That's the kind of man women naturally respect and desire. Another issue is over-complimenting yourself too. Men who brag or oversell themselves in an attempt to impress often destroy attraction. Women aren't interested in a man who seeks validation constantly. They want a man who knows his worth and doesn't need her approval to feel good about himself. In short, stop relying on compliments to get attention or affection. Be the man who creates curiosity, playful tension, and dynamic energy. Challenge her in conversation, stand firm in your beliefs, and be confident in your interactions. Attraction grows when you're interesting, strong, and unpredictable, not when you're predictable and eager to please. Master this, and you'll notice women responding to your energy rather than your words. 6. Show ambition, not just stability. Let's get real. Being a safe guy who has a steady job, pays the bills, and keeps a clean apartment is not enough to attract women long-term. Stability might make you comfortable or reliable, but it rarely sparks desire. Women are drawn to men who have a fire inside them, a purpose, and a drive that goes beyond just surviving. Ambition is magnetic. It signals growth, strength, and the ability to handle challenges. And those are traits women subconsciously respect and want in a partner. Many men make the mistake of thinking that being stable equals being attractive. They work a steady job, follow a routine, and believe that security alone will make women stay. But stability without ambition is boring. Women are wired to notice potential and vision. They want to see a man who chases goals, takes risks, and constantly improves himself. Ambition shows that you're not passive, that your life is moving forward, and that you're not dependent on anyone else for validation. Another common problem is men who settle for comfort. They avoid challenges, stick to the safe path, and never push themselves to grow. This signals a lack of confidence and drive, which can be a huge turnoff. Women aren't attracted to men who just exist. They're attracted to men who exist with purpose. That sense of direction, even if it comes with failures or risks, communicates strength and resilience. Ambition doesn't have to be about money or fame, it's about showing you're actively building something meaningful, whether it's a career, a skill, a passion project, or personal growth. Women notice when a man invests in himself and isn't just drifting through life. That energy makes you interesting, desirable, and unpredictable. Here's the truth men need to hear: women will respect your stability, but they will fall for your ambition. A man who has goals, takes initiative, and isn't afraid to challenge himself naturally becomes attractive. It's not arrogance, it's self-respect. It's not showing off. It's showing that you're capable of building the life you want and inviting someone to be part of it, not control it. In short, stop thinking that stability alone is enough. Women crave drive, purpose, and ambition. When you show that you're building, growing, and pushing forward, you create natural attraction that no amount of money, compliments, or availability can replace. Ambition sets you apart from the average man, and it's one of the strongest signals of masculinity and magnetism you can give. Seventh, be mysterious, not transparent. Here's a fact most men completely ignore. Being an open book doesn't make you attractive. It makes you predictable. Women are drawn to mystery and intrigue, not a man who shares every thought, feeling, or detail of his life up front. When you reveal everything too quickly, you remove curiosity, tension, and excitement, the very things that fuel attraction. Being mysterious isn't about lying or being manipulative. It's about holding space, creating depth, and letting her want to discover you. Too many men overshare because they think transparency equals trust. They pour out their emotions, schedules, and personal history too early, hoping that honesty will impress. But here's the problem. When a man reveals everything immediately, he loses the magnetic pull. Curiosity is replaced by certainty, and women often lose interest when there's nothing left to uncover. Mystery keeps a relationship engaging and makes her want to invest effort into knowing you. Being mysterious also signals confidence. When you don't feel the need to explain yourself constantly, you communicate that your life is full, your time is valuable, and your attention is earned. Women notice when a man can hold his own, keep certain things private, and navigate interactions with calm control. That kind of energy is subtle, yet incredibly powerful. Another key point: mystery allows tension and anticipation to build naturally. It's the difference between being predictable and boring versus exciting and magnetic. Women are intrigued by men who are balanced, confident, and selective about what they share. They're drawn to the man who isn't desperate for validation, who has experiences, passions, and goals that exist independently of them. Most men fail here because they equate vulnerability with weakness. But vulnerability is valuable when it's shared selectively and strategically, not dumped all at once. Being mysterious doesn't mean shutting down emotionally. It means revealing yourself gradually, letting curiosity and desire develop naturally. In short, stop over-explaining, oversharing, or trying to impress by giving away too much. Hold space, be calm, and allow her to discover who you are over time. Mystery creates attraction, tension, and interest, qualities that transparency alone can't produce. A man who masters this becomes magnetic, confident, and unforgettable. Women are naturally drawn to men who aren't easy to read, and once you embrace that, your presence and influence grow exponentially. Conclusion: here's the controversial truth that most men won't admit. Being liked or being nice is the fastest way to be forgotten by women. That's right. Most men spend their lives trying to please, impress, and bend over backward, thinking that's the key to attraction. It's not. Women don't fall for the guy who agrees with everything, cancels his plans for her, or showers her with endless compliments. They fall for the man who has boundaries, confidence, ambition, and a life she can't control. Some of you may feel offended right now, and that's fine. This is exactly why it's controversial. But the men who wake up to this reality are the ones who actually start attracting the women they want. It's not about manipulation or tricks. It's about understanding human nature, energy, and what women subconsciously crave: scarcity, confidence, challenge, ambition, independence, and mystery. These aren't suggestions, they're essential. I want you to think about your own life for a second. Are you truly living it for yourself, or are you constantly trying to fit someone else's expectations? Are you chasing approval, or are you building attraction naturally by being the man you were meant to be? The difference between the men who succeed with women and those who don't is simple, but brutal in its honesty. Most men never face it. I want to hear from you. Comment below with your experiences. What's worked for you, what hasn't, and what shocked you the most about these truths. I read every single comment, and I'll personally reach out to connect with some of you. Let's talk openly, break the stereotypes, and start building the kind of attraction that actually works in the real world. Remember, attraction isn't about being liked, it's about being respected, desired, and remembered. If you follow these principles, you'll notice a shift in how women respond to you almost immediately. Stop being the man who pleases everyone. Start being the man who commands attention.